good enough to lay that same egg versus the San Francisco 49ers. In my mind, Key, Dak Prescott is not as bad as people make him out to be, and he's not as great as people make him out to be.
Yep.
So how good is he? He's good enough to get an MVP vote. How good is he? He's good enough to win the division. How good is he? He's good enough to have the best team in the NFC.
I think Dak could be in the MVP run this year.
I don't think Dak Prescott is good enough to be the reason the Cowboys win a Super Bowl. No. I think Dak Prescott can be a very
I think it's just because
good
of how bad their
driver,
division is.
but he's going to have to be a passenger in a Super Bowl game. And it comes down to this, and Skip, you've covered the league long enough to know. Think about the worst quarterbacks in the last 15 years to win Super Bowls. You could say Joe Flacco, but he had an 11-touchdown, 0-interception run.
Joe Flacco in the postseason was Joe Montana.
Exactly right. Exactly right. You could say Nick Foles, my former roommate Nick Foles, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception en route to winning a Super Bowl. You could say Eli Manning, over his 2 Super Bowl runs, 15 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I would simply ask, can Dak do that? I don't think so. I don't think Dak Prescott can have a 6-touchdown, 1-interception run. Skip, I don't think Dak Prescott can have an 11-touchdown, no interception
Jim McMahon
run.
going back to the day in Chicago. They won with him with maybe the greatest defense ever.
Correct. You could bring up guys like Trent Dilfer, et cetera.
2002 Bucks, the Ravens.
Hey, watch out. Leave my quarterback Brad alone.
But he was just decent.
Correct.
He was just pretty good.
Most quarterbacks that have won Super Bowls,
Yeah.
most. I'm not talking about the Joe Montanas
Yeah.
of the world. They all have pedestrian Super Bowls. Most of them do when you look at the stat lines.
Except for Brady and Montana.
You know, yeah. But even when Brady had 400+ yards throwing and doing all, he lost. He lost. So it's a certain way you win come postseason. Do I think Dak Prescott has the ability to help the Cowboys win a Super Bowl? In the right situation, in the right team, in the right circumstances, 100%. But he's got to get help from everybody. This ain't just about Dak. We make it about Dak a lot. For whatever reason, he's a quarterback of the star. Everybody's watching him. We have these conversations literally every single day. You say to yourself, is he a top 10 quarterback? It's probably right there, 8, 9. Because I don't think there's 9.
Debating, is he 12, 11?
No, but there's not 9 quarterbacks better than Dak Prescott when you think about it. There's not.
I could find him.
Okay, so you can go Patrick Mahomes, you can go Aaron Rodgers, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert. Who else?
You done?
Who am I me?
I'll go Trevor Lawrence. I go Deshaun Watson.
How you gonna go?
I'd go Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence, you saw last year, and you're like, okay, cool.
Fair.
Cool. Right? You like the hair, and he's a family guy, and he stands in the pocket tall. You like that. That looks good to you. And then Deshaun,
I thought they did pretty well last year.
3 years ago. Really good, but we don't know what it is now.
Okay, fair.
So that's my whole point.
Fair.
You erase those 2 out the equation. Kirk Cousins? No, you wouldn't take Kirk Cousins over no damn Dak Prescott.
Yep.
So when you start to think about it, you can go Carr, they're probably the same. I think he has the ability to
Carr's
take
arm
the
isn't as good.
Cowboys far. He's got to cut down on the turnovers. You talk about the San Francisco 49er game, I continue to keep saying this. When you look at the tape, the interception to the Amador Lenore who jumped the out route. He couldn't step into the throw.
Sure.
Nick Bosa sitting in his lap.
Don't do this, Key. Don't make excuses for him.
I'm not making excuses. I'm giving facts.
Throw it away.
He can't. Again, I'll explain to you like I explain to everybody else. When you are a quarterback and you go to pull the trigger, it's very hard to pull it back when it's already gone. It's hard.
Lenore had a jump on that off the.
No.
Yeah.
I'm
but
telling you.
That's just one interception. That's just one.
That's one.
There was a couple of them.
Okay.
There was a couple of them.
So,
Keith, I got
No, man, I swear to you. I swear, man, the CeeDee Lamb interception. CeeDee Lamb tricked the quarterback. You cannot trick the quarterback, but you blame the quarterback. He's got to do a better job. The Green Bay game, he throws the interception across the middle. 2 receivers can't be stacked on each other.
I agree with that.
So I discount, and you'll learn to discount. Wait, hold on. You guys will learn to discount interceptions to quarterbacks. I don't protect quarterbacks, but you'll learn to discount them because so many things happen when they throw the football. Tip balls, they get the credit for that. Bad route, interception, they get the credit for that. And
That'd be interesting if they started not counting tipped interceptions.
And you say, well,
and just like somehow managed to call it a.
Well, cut that down, man. It's not really 17.
Like maybe a new stat for wide receiver or corners that are like.
But you can't do
tipped.
that.
interceptions.
Oh, you
I don't know.
absolutely no. You
Now, the
absolutely
film can do that.
It's almost
No,
like
you
in hockey
absolutely
when
do that, but I can't do that.
the defenseman comes up and takes a massive slap shot.
No, I can't do
And
that.
then it, like,
And the reason
goes
I can do it because I know what I'm seeing and I'm watching.
6 feet up in the
And
air,
you
and you
do
got
too,
some guy who
but
throws
you
a stick up and
refuse
hits
to
it,
do
and
that.
the puck
You refuse
deflects
to do
another
it
direction
because you have now
and goes
fell into
completely
the big pile it on. That's what you have done.
like somewhere the
I
goalie
look
wasn't
at it
expecting
like
it
this,
all.
and it's
And
very simple for me.
It's obviously a goal
Skip,
against
I
the
don't
goalie.
think
It's
that Dak
just
Prescott is a great eraser.
it's not
I
like
think
it's not the
quarterbacks
same
that
as
are great
if
have to be
a
erasers.
guy
It's
just
like,
came in
man,
and
our
sniped it
defense
on the
just gave up a
goalie.
90-yard, 8-play drive, a 90-yard, 12-play drive. Dak, go fix it.
Yeah.
Remember Patrick Mahomes versus the Buffalo Bills? Go fix it.
But nobody is confusing him with Patrick Mahomes.
Of course, but can you be Nick Foles in the playoffs? Can you be Joe Flacco in the playoffs? Can you be Matthew Stafford in the playoffs? That's all you necessarily need. I don't need him to be Pat or Brady. Can he be that?
Probably Skip.
Yeah.
He probably could. We will
I
have
think
to
Dak
wait
could.
and see.
We've seen for
I
some
think that
have
team is pretty
seen
stacked.
enough. I have tried and tried and tried some more to love this man. I loved him from the start. But I look back now and I think maybe Zeke had more to do with it than I gave Zeke credit for. I'm talking about
Yeah, in
going all the way
2016.
back to 2016
Yeah.
when they ran off with the whole NFC and went 13-3 and then lost to Aaron, of course, at Dallas in the shootout game. Dak played great in that game. But in the biggest picture, I believe he's just good enough to leave us frustrated as Cowboy fans. I believe he's just good enough to keep his job because he's fringy top 10. You could make 8 case, 9 case, whatever case, and it's just good enough.
Just
We
good
say,
enough to
well,
keep
we got to
ticking us off.
Give him another contract and give me another.
It's like when it's barely
heartache.
raining outside.
Because this guy
Just
is,
enough
is
to take
the
you off.
ultimate. I thought Romo was a Romo coaster ride, roller coaster ride. This guy's even what I used to call roller coaster rides because I don't do well on roller coasters. It's a vomit ride. And this guy is the ultimate vomit ride for me because, to your point, he goes to Tampa in that first playoff game and he plays the game of his life. I've never seen anything like it before. QBR that game, 0 to 100. He's 97. He's 25 of 33 for 305 with 4 touchdowns and no picks. It was perfection. Sends Tom into the sunset. But he does not do well with expectations created by America's team, and that is the hottest seat in all of pro football, is to be the quarterback, as you well know, for that team, especially when all of a sudden expectations go through the roof at Jerry World, and now you're going out to San Francisco to play, obviously, a very good defense.
I was going to let you finish.
Okay.
And I was going to get there.
Yeah, okay, but I'm going to get back to that game because it was, the defense holds Brock Purdy and company and Kyle Shanahan to 19. You should have a shot, man. 19, give me a 20 to 19. Give me a 21 to 19, right?
That's it.
But let's look at those interceptions. Look, he throws 2 in the first half that puts him in a hole that they can't quite dig out of because he keeps missing throws in the second half. The score ends up 19 to 12. But let's look at the interceptions
19 and
again.
12.
The first one, and you're defending him. I don't think there's anybody in his face. I think that just was a bad idea, and it looked like an off-target throw to me. It's wide left. It looks like Lenore was the target as opposed to Gallup.
Can't step
Okay.
into it, Skip.
Okay, but you got to be better than that on the road against those guys because they feast on those balls. Okay, let's look at the second interception.
He's got to stay, though. CeeDee Lamb cannot trace.
Okay.
Stop right there. Don't trace back
But
out.
he's whipping away from Fred,
You
though.
can't. You slide. You don't whip. And when you do that, it tricks the quarterback.
That's fair, but if he stays, it's going to be a PBU either
It's
way.
not.
Fred's breaking that up. He's not picking it, but he's breaking it up.
He's supposed to stick and stay. He cannot slide all the way out there. Okay. When they're
Yeah, if the quarterback
doing
thinks you're
the
going to be
zone
somewhere and you're not there,
you are now
especially if he
supposed to
sees you
find a
there,
cavity.
to like
A guy's
get it in
here,
his head that
guy's
he's going to
there.
throw to you.
Stop right here. Don't keep going. When you do that, it tricks the quarterback.
Sir?
I'm just telling you.
I thought Fred Warner tricked the quarterback because he just set him up and picked his pocket.
Just slide, though, CD.
All right, now
That's all
let's
you gotta
move
do.
to the third quarter. It's 3rd and 5 at the San Francisco 40. This is 6:09 of the third. The game is tied at 9-all.
Yep.
CD for a moment broke open deep, and I thought you got to make this throw. If you make this play, we might be having a different conversation here if we could see this one. Okay, so Dak goes back. He's got a blitzer coming. And he has him, and
he hit him.
he just misses him. Is it the blitzer that
gotta get a little
bothers
higher.
him? Did he not step into it? I thought he had him for a moment. He was a little late.
Better throw.
Yeah.
Better throw will help him.
Okay.
But here's what I would tell you. better route by the receiver. You say, well, what do you mean? You say, well, what do you mean? When I have a linebacker chasing me, all I got to do is do that. If I do this, he's going to go there, and now I can bend to give a bigger window to, but this is too much X and O.
Right.
I don't want to dive into that. It's like I'm coaching now.
All right, so now it's 19.
It's nice to hear that perspective, though, of like an actual receiver.
It's 2nd and 1 at their own 18 with 2:56 left. And all of a sudden, Michael Gallup, who's coming off ACL reconstruction and hadn't been able to run all year, something pushed his button, and he's rocket launched, and he gets deep. And let's see what happened. I thought this was a throw that could have tied the game to Michael Gallup. He's got him, and it's wide right and late.
It's a bad throw.
It's just a bad throw.
That's a bad throw.
Yeah, you got to throw it ahead of him.
It's not a step and a half.
You got to turn around.
He has to lead him, that's all.
You got to lead him.
Jump backwards.
Listen, I'm watching. I fall off my chair. I'm rolling on the floor because it's 19-12. You got that's your shot. That's the essence and the epitome of Rain Dakota Prescott. That's it.
My question is very simple. What has Dak shown either of you to let you believe that he would be the reason the Cowboys won a Super Bowl? Like, I literally, and I'm sure we all have, sat here and watched every single
Nothing,
one
but
of
it's
Dak's
similar to what you're saying with Joe
meticulously
Flacco
maybe
and
multiple times.
Nick Folk.
Dak has shown me that, like, you saw 4 touchdowns versus the Bucks, bad defense looked great. Versus the Niners, good defense, didn't look all that great. But, Key, you're making a bunch of excuses for Dak, which I do understand.
It's not excuses. It's explanations of why those things occurred.
Excuses and explanations are the fine line between the two. But, to me, you got to be greater than your greatest excuse. Okay, CeeDee Lamb, you messed up. Let me go atone for it on the next drive. Because Tony Pollard did get hurt. Like, Tony got hurt. Michael Gallup's not great.
It changes the game.
To me, it's like Dak has to be better than his best excuse. He's a really good quarterback.
Yeah.
Really good quarterback.
I'll buy that.
But I don't know
But how many quarterbacks, when things start to fall apart, how many QBs step up and take control of a bad situation? How many?
I would say the winners do. Like last year, you would say, we all know this, and I know, Skip, you may not agree, Jalen Hurts did last year.
No, he did.
Last year, Jalen Hurts.
What was his bad situation?
Indianapolis Colts. You're about to lose to the Colts. A.J. Brown just fumbles. You're down, I believe it may have been 13-10. He's like, you know what? Put the team on my back, march down the field.
But I'm not arguing the regular season.
Okay.
I'm talking about the postseason.
Understood.
Dak Prescott got regular season moments. We can pull them up on the archives 1,000 times. We're talking about the postseason.
Okay.
His regular season numbers, wins totals have been, no.
Okay, but
they
even
go in the playoffs. They win in the regular season.
He do be winning.
They win in the regular season.
last year, wildly inconsistent. 6 2-interception games.
I understand. He threw 3 pick sixes throughout the year.
And at Green Bay, against our nemesis, our Dracula, Aaron Rodgers, who just sucks our blood.
So
every time.
demoralizing.
We're up 28-14 through 3 quarters. I know it's the frozen tundra, but it's a nice warm day.
So now I'm gonna slow you down right now, Skip. Here's why Kellen Moore is in Los Angeles coaching the Chargers, because I need you to help me help the defense and not get caught up in trying to score points and throwing the football and doing things you should be doing as an offensive coordinator. This is why Mike McCarthy made the decision.
No, that's a lie.
No, it's not a lie.
That's a lie.
Not a lie.
Mike McCarthy made the decision because he needed a scapegoat.
No, that's not true.
Kellen Moore had the #1 offense in football.
That doesn't mean
I know, look how fast Kellen Moore got picked up. That should be a little, like, indicator as to how big or how bad of a move that was from the Cowboys.
And I'm out there, and it's
Like, they let him go and he was re-signed by the Chargers.
Damn quarterback throwing the ball all over the line.
In less than, like,
You're gonna get me fired.
not even, it wasn't even, I don't even think it was a week.
Game, what you want him to do? Hand the ball off to Zeke?
We're going to get rid of the offensive coordinator who was responsible for the
game a certain way to
best
get
offense
back into it,
in the
even
league,
when
technically.
You're winning. And
Not
all
on
of a
paper,
sudden,
but, like,
you're throwing the ball all
statistically.
over the line, or you're running it when you're supposed to be throwing it. You're throwing when you're supposed to be running.
But
That's what Kellen Moore was doing.
If you have a $160 million quarterback,
That was it.
and you have a running back that is over the hill in Ezekiel Elliott, and you have a first-round pick wide receiver, what are you supposed to do? Turn around and hand it off?
No, you're supposed to go with the flow of the game. You can't get caught up in numbers. I'll show up. Oh, we're paying this guy $160 million, so we got to throw the football.
You don't have to throw the football.
Do that.
But I always say like this: when I watch Aaron Rodgers play, so often I'm like, that was a long handoff. it's so accurate that the pass was a long handoff. So even throwing the football for Dak Prescott, if you're throwing a 5-yard out, if you're throwing a now screen, if you're throwing a basic, those should be as consistent as a handoff.
Well, I would say when he does do those sort of things, it's consistent, but they're not calling it. It's all about calling the game. That's all it is. And this is why Mike McCarthy said, yeah, we are putting up points and we're the number one this and number that. But you're putting our defense out on the field when we go 3 and outs. We go 5 and outs. You're putting our defense back out on the field. We're not even allowing Micah Parsons to get the rest that he needs to go get the quarterback.
Is Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, are they not better than Ezekiel Elliott and or Tony Pollard? In my mind, I trust Dak. You should. We all sitting here should trust Dak more than we trust anybody else on that Cowboys offense. He's been there longer than CeeDee. He's been there longer than Pollard. He's been there just as long as the time as Zeke. So if you're telling me who am I going to live or
He's
die
giving us more
by,
content.
ride with the horse that brung you. That's what they told me.
To react to.
Tony Pollard was special last year and did not get the acclaim he deserved because even in that game at Green Bay, they did have the ball 4 times in the fourth quarter, got 0 points. So they go to overtime. They win the toss in overtime. Usually that means gold, right?
Yeah.
Tony Pollard runs it 3 straight times, and Green Bay, it appears, cannot stop him. They get into Green Bay territory, and it becomes 3rd and 3, and he throws it to CD and misses him. And then 4th and 3, he tries to hit Pollard on a little swing pass and misses
So here's
him.
what I'm going to say. You just said it. I know we got to get up out of here in a second. 3rd and 3, you missed CeeDee Lamb.
He did.
Pollard just got you there. He's gashing him.
You could just
Turn around and hand him the ball. You don't have to throw in that situation. Dak's not calling that play. That's all I'm telling you.
Which means.
That's all I'm telling you.
Is he really the guy?
Correct.
Is he?
But
if you have to take
you're not taking the ball out of his hands.
But you're telling us
It's the flow of the game. That's how it's the flow of the game.
I hear you, but I would say the game should flow through the quarterback regardless of the flow of the game. Let the game
And it
flow
did for the
through
first 3
quarterback.
downs in which they couldn't get it first. So it's the 4th and 3. You just got all the way down the field with Tony Pollard.
You bet not throw the football. And I'm a receiver.
Jeez, I should be a coach or something.
Biggest picture on Dak Prescott. He did lead the league with 15 interceptions and didn't play 5 games last year. And in the postseason, he's 2 and 4.
Yeah.
It's just not.
He's got to do better.
Enough. Yeah. Up next, we're going to talk about another quarterback.
I think Dak's
who might
fine. I think
way
he could be in the
better
hunt
than
for
Dak
MVP.
Prescott when he gets to the
Dark
NFL.
horse, maybe.
It's
Who knows?
Caleb Williams. Just how